Arr, look alive, you scurvy dogs. Hoist that sail, prepare the cannons, and stop using the poop deck like that. 'Tis unsanitary. Ahoy there, me bronies. I be Captain Silverbeard, and normally I'd have the lot of you walking the plank for stowing aboard me ship, the Jolly Reviewer. But I be in a forgiving mood as I've come across some buried treasure. IDW's My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, issues 13 and 14, known as Friendship Ahoy. So join me in looking over these tales, and we'll see if it's the pirate's life for ye, or the plank. Our tales be told by Heather Nuffer, and our trusty artist Brenda Hickey, and her colorist Heather Breckle. Me favorite duo be Katie Cook and Andy Price, yet these folk are no slackers. The artwork is clean and strong, with some nice expressions. I only miss the amount of background jokes we see in Cook and Price's work. Still, such is mere dressing to the story, and that there be the true meat of any comic. This tale starts with our main crew and their cabin boy heading off to Horseshoe Bay. Whether they be in Baltimore already is, might confusing. The background looks like Ponyville, yet that hardly be a short trek as the hippogriff flies. Also, it looks like Spike's enjoying the view from behind his mistress. They grow up so fast. Next panel, they're at the beach. Blood and thunder, that was a quick trip. And we learn that this be more than a day of foolery, though Pinkie Pie is charting that course. This be a mission of mercy for Fluttershy as she returns her fishy friend Gil to the briny deep. Again, I wonder how a sea fish came to meet a pony in a landlocked town, but if I run ashore on these details, this voyage will be never-ending. And Applejack be in defiance of the laws of physics as she shares pineapple drinks so strong they force the truth from your mouth. Aye, a treacherous brew, as I well know. Sometimes I think Rainbow Dash be the cutest of the lot. I shouldn't have shown you that clip. Methinks I've been at sea a mite too long. Ah well, no time for an interesting game of truth or mare as Fluttershy nearly gets crushed by a ship running aground. And those with eyes be seeing the most lecherous starfish in the world, who looks a mite too pleased with where he's a-baskin. Who be running this fool's errand? Why, it's, that guy. You know, the Johnny Depp bloke. This mystery stallion never says his name, only that he be looking for a crew. So of course, Rainbow Dash immediately volunteers to join the mystery stallion she's never met and who nearly crushed her friend. By the powers, Rainbow, have you never heard of stranger danger? No doubt some landlubber will complain that Rainbow showed no interest in a pirate's life till now. Yet, I'd be taking no quarrel with it. Rainbow be a pony of adventure, and who hasn't daydreamed of life on the open sea? Yet her thirst for adventure be a blight upon her friends, as will Fluttershy's quest. You see, she weren't set to let go of Gil before her near death, and now she's on a quest to rescue him from his own home. Rarity be wanting to go along because she be interested in the size of the captain's mizzenmast, if you take my meaning. And Pinkie's going along because she's Pinkie. And the only mares with a lick of common sense are Applejack and Twilight, the latter being instantly swayed when the captain challenges her navigation skills. And now be as good a time as any to sail in stormy seas. This here be the first appearance of Princess Twilight in the comics. And oh, the caterwauling this caused. Fans hemmed and hawed about how this would ruin the comics, and this was the worst thing ever. Got so bad that Andy Price had to parlay on his DeviantArt account. Navigate by the story, says I, and let the princess speak for herself. So, 'tis a sad sight to see her climbing aboard without using her wings, and the captain show no signs of spotting her royal bearing. And Spike be coming aboard to serve as ship's parrot. Not a problem for a hippogriff of the sea such as myself. I be 10% parrot on me pappy's side.
Pieces of eight.
So the ponies depart on the salty sea mare, though I'd be having a better name for the ship, the van with free candy. Our crew be sailing to the Galloping Ghost Islands. And once they arrive, most of the main crew go ashore while Applejack stays behind to pry some truth from their mystery captain, whose name no pony yet knows. And blow me down, these pirates look a mite familiar. Never mind the Crusader lookalikes or the Pineapple family. What's that Straw Hat Bilge Rat doing here? I confess to some confusion. Never pictured pony folk as the pirating sort. Was kind of expecting a few griffins and minotaurs and the like. A wasted chance, but not damaging. Not as much as when Fluttershy finds Gil. She scoops him right up and dumps him in a coconut. Fluttershy, a pony who's devoted herself to caring for critters and restoring them to health, is abducting a fish for her own sense of security. Slander! No, wait, it'd be in print. Libel! Thank the seas for Applejack, who'll be trying to coax some truth using that pineapple drink. Clever lass, that Applejack. But the captain be holding his secrets close, as the bottles he keeps throwing overboard are love letters to the sea, and there be dire consequences for not finding a stolen map. Naturally, Applejack be a mite upset that the scallywags holding the map are the very sort Twilight and the others be seeking. But the captain says they'll be fine so long as they don't pick a fight. So, guess what Rainbow Dash been up to? Last must have a death wish as she picks a fight. And I sum up this squabble with one word: hijinks. It'd be a lighthearted battle. Even with cutlasses flying, there'd be no blood or injury. You don't expect Pinkie Pie to be causing ponies undue harm, do ye? But things take a turn as Rainbow and Pinkie let slip that there be a pony princess present, and the pirates are suddenly seeing a princess's ransom. They say they hadn't met a princess before and didn't recognize her. "She's got wings and a horn, you half-wits!" And magic to match as she drives them all back with a good shock. But rather than make them dance the hangman's jig, Princess Twilight makes an offer. Take him to the map and she'll share whatever treasure she may find. And me word is me bond, this impressed me more than anything in Season 4. I appreciate a tussle as much as the next bloke, but there'd be more to being a leader than shooting friendship beams. With minimal force, Twilight gets these builds rest to see it be better to side with her, earning her a fresh crew and information in the process. This was more than just a brawl. 'Twas her first successful negotiation. More scenes like this, and I say long life to Princess Twilight. Of course, the alliance be short-lived, as it turns out that the map of the Wandering X belonged to Hoofbeard, greatest pirate of the seas. I may not be a fan of Rainbow's behavior, but I cannot resist the sight of her fangasming. Which lasts all of 2 seconds as the pirates reveal where the map be hidden. The lair of the ghost crab. And we end part 1 with the pirates ducking out on our heroines. They don't make pirates like they used to. Part 2 begins with X marks the spot, as the mares outfight the crab. I don't see what the problem is, just go down to the store and order some cream, and the less said on that, the better. Rainbow finds the map and discovers that the crab glows because of too many energy drinks. I'd be finding that anything but interesting. And with Pinkie's bond with the crab folk, they quickly deal with the beast a mite more gently than they did those pirates. And Twilight learns their captain be having some cabin fever, as his letters to the sea are mostly threats. Then it's back to the van with free candy, as Captain Hoofbeard sets a course to find his precious jewel. For Rainbow, it'd be the start of a grand adventure, involving several days adrift in the blistering heat. This be the only time Rainbow seems to realize that life ain't always like adventures. A real pirate's life was anything but glamorous. Savvy? It gets to the point where the ship be drifting in a circle, and word of mutiny spreads amongst the crew. 4 hooves below where the captain himself be standing. Not mares for subtlety, these ponies. Some may take issue with Rainbow selling out her captain for the promise of being a captain herself. I ask, why should she be loyal to a stallion who won't give his name? And Rainbow's been trying to live the dream since page 6, so why fight it? And fight they do, with more hijinks. 'Tis the theme of this comic. The captain be putting up a decent fight, but he be outnumbered and outjinxed. So it's off to the brig with him and back to Ponyville for Captain Dash and her trusty but not quite trustworthy crew. Even got a new Element of Harmony sail. That rarity be a witch of sewing. But they don't get far as they run into the Wandering X, which be a school of mermares, and one of them happened to be named Jewel. Aye, those really were love letters. And I'd be of 2 minds on this. On the one hoof, you can't be expecting a lot from a 2-issue comic, especially when one of the star-crossed lovers be meant to be a stallion of mystery. Yet you can't just bring up a new character and say they be in love. I care more about the fish and the coconut, who by all rights should be dead by now. As the mares batter the ship, Fluttershy takes the captain's words to heart. If you love something strong enough, you can let it go with the trust it'll come back to ye. So she gathers every pony's attention with a cannon blast. Is that not how you're supposed to do it? Right, settle down, you lot. Item 1 on the list. We be way over budget on the peg leg count. Ye sad sacks need to stop getting shot. Item 2, we got another hole in the ship to patch. Probably should have moved that to item 1. Fluttershy returns Gil to the sea, and that be enough to convince the mermares to let Jewel and Hoofbeard be together. Well now, that was easy. And after fitting Hoofbeard with a set of gills and fins, because Twilight can do that now, it's time for some words of parting. The captain says that while they might have been treacherous, insubordinate, and fluffy, they were the finest crew he ever had. And given the last crew mutinied and took his map, that'd be more truth than praise. So it'd be time to journey back to Ponyville upon a Mantahawk. Between the gills and fins spell and this beastie, Piers the writer was expecting the audience to have read Under the Sparkling Sea. Which you have. Fluttershy's tale comes to a close as she sees Gil reunited with his family, for love always finds a way home. I'd be getting a cavity. If this be a more serious comic, I'd have strong words for how it doesn't convey the idea that real life ain't like the adventures found in storybooks. But this ain't a more serious comic. And it is an adventure found in a storybook. It be a lighthearted tale with some fun scenes and a heaping dose of silliness. It asks you not to take it seriously, though that don't put it beyond reproach. I be not a fan of the setup, as Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash be rather selfish or foolhardy at the start. Yet the story goes upwards from there with a fun journey, comical battles, and nice art. And while Hoofbeard be a far cry from the greatest pirate, he's a decent enough bloke, and I'm glad to include him amongst the ranks of stallions who aren't jerks. Not the finest treasure in IDW's locker, but a far cry from fool's gold. Give it a look if ye be seeking a light read. Shiver me timbers, it be a wave of rarity versus crab memes. I don't even know where this idea came from, but it won't be the death of me. If ye be wanting to hear more of me thoughts on comics without the pirate voice, then ye can tune in to the MBS podcast, where we be chatting about the comic series ongoing. I'm Captain Silverbeard, and I'll see you lot on dry land another day. Thank ye for watching.